night, Asian?
No,
You're
the
sleeping
agent's
through that.
the agent's way too late for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how London is for me. Um, all right, so let's not waste any time. So again, we pretty much broke down the monthly over here on GJ. Looking at the weekly now, the weekly, I added a new level that I thought was interesting over here. And it's a level that we broke yesterday. And it was these candle body highs to the left. And it's also 165, a psychological level. I don't believe it matches up with too many levels over here to the left, but it's a significant level just because of these candle body highs. And it's a psychological level. And I know we were kind of exhausting around here a little bit yesterday. So but we are extremely bullish, and this is kind of what we said we could get right over here once we held this support with this candle right here, right with that wick. Like it's that perfect high created. We come down to find a higher low, and then we continue right back up to retest the high. No, no stalling, nothing. You just got an extremely bearish Japanese yen pushing us up from this level, breaking or holding that support right there, and then just continuing up. So right now we are well on our way to fill this wick up here potentially and continue up. Right now we're sitting at 166, a level that I marked off yesterday for you guys. To the left, it's that area here where you had that wick and then that support right over there. And again, that's a nice resistance here on the lower time frames and a nice support on the lower time frames as well. So we're sitting right at that level right now. Can we continue back up into 167,500, this previous support level over here, and then continue back up? From there, you could be coming up into the 70s of like 172 or 172,500. We could we'll mark it off at 172, almost 900 over here. This candle body high, this resistance right here, we'll just mark it off as that. It's actually probably going to be this wick right here on the weekly. So I'm actually going to bring it in tighter. And that wick right there is obviously going to be a resistance on the lower time frame if you understand candle body anatomy. So again, we are just pushing up here, looking at the daily. These candles don't have bottom wicks, but we're just pushing up, which is fine. But we are pretty extended here, right? We've been pushing up, creating higher lows, higher highs. We got a trend within a trend and probably another trend within a trend over here in the lower time frames. But we have just been pushing up, breaking previous highs to the left, previous resistances, and now we're just continuing right back up. If we could stay above 166, we could definitely head up to 167,500, which is these candle body highs to the left. Looking at the 4 hour now. The 4 hour, again, we got these higher lows being created, right over here. Now we have like this trend within a trend over here. Price just making higher lows, higher highs, little channel over here if you want to draw that resistance, but I don't really like doing that too much. But right now we are respecting this trend within a trend. So could we be getting, the whole idea with that is, could we be getting like a pullback into some of these areas over here? Or could the pullback come even deeper or even deeper into some of these areas over here? You have all these different levels that you could be pulling back into before continuing up and respecting this bullish trend here. So is this going to happen? I don't know. We need to see some stability in the Japanese yen for that to happen. But right now, we're just playing buys. We're waiting for supports to form and taking price up. So right now, looking at the current price action, there's no signs of sells other than this bearish candle close right over here. But this candle created a healthy bottom wick and is now flipping bullish and continuing through 166. So is there a move in here that we could possibly grab? All right, looking at the 1 hour. 1 hour is creating this higher low over here. It's not, there you go. And then another higher low right in this area. And price just pushing up to retest these highs up here. So I'm going to mark it off right here right now. You do have that 166 level, right? But we're sitting at 166, 100 as that resistance. So are we going to close above that level to continue up from here? And just adjust this trend line. There you go. All right, so that's the valid trend. We also have another trend within a trend right here. Pressure's pushing up, higher lows, higher highs, right? So we could always get the pullback back into here to continue up. That's the idea with those trend lines. It just gives you an idea of where price could be heading, but we're well on our way up right now. Would you look at this? We are pretty overextended over here on this move, but right now you get that close above resistance. You have a bottom wick formed on the 30-minute, and price is now trying to break the high of that candle. So you could potentially use dynamic risk in case you think price is going to take off from here. But I've seen a lot of people get trapped here. So maybe you want to wait for, that high to be created and then the retest before continuing up. But the only thing is, with the current volume that we have today and yesterday and to start the week, this could be a valid move right now. So this is something I typically would take if I wasn't coming right to the market and, right to the setup. Is anybody thinking about taking this? You got about 10 pips to fill that wick right there. That's a healthy bottom wick on the 30-minute. You see the 15-minute. See, the 15-minute has this resistance up here, which could be an issue. But we are holding support at 166. Let's see. Okay, so again, look at the time, 6:54. Let's wait for that hourly close above that resistance right there. And then we'll see if we have a valid move to continue up. I want to look to the left. It's going to take forever. Oh, maybe not. Oh, we got a clean move right over here, right up into this level up here. Beautiful. Clean move up into this area. We could be reacting to this wick right here, and we could get like a secure point. You guys may want to take off a little piece, or this could be your first take profit here. But I think we could continue up if we get that continued bullish momentum. So you got about 5 minutes left. Let's see if the 1 hour candle is going to close. Well, I'm actually going to make this a little thinner. Yeah. Anybody have any questions on GJ or anything to add? Any charts?
Marking up EJ right now, so I'll send it in just a second because right now it's EJ is similar to GJ, whereas we're sitting in that no man's land. I have a couple areas that are marked off on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly that I could see us heading up to this bullish momentum. But the 4 hour, dude, it's literally sitting in no man's land. If you look left on this thing, squeeze it in, there's nothing there. Okay. So we have to use the daily, the weekly, and the monthly levels to determine where we're going to next.
All right, I like it. Yeah, we'll break that down today as well on EJ, but let's get into gold right now and wait to see how this candle closes. Let me bring this up real quick. Hold on 1 second. Jamie, did you figure out magic keys?
No, and I even sent it to to Queen Fundamentals over there, Charm, and she said she couldn't figure it out. So what I did get it to do is when you activate that script, it will automatically move your stop to however you have it set. So that like right now I had it set to 1 candle trailing plus 5 pip buffer, and it moved it. But what I'm trying to find out is, do you have to continually hitting the function key every time it establishes a new high, new low for it to move? Or will it do it automatically once you hit it the first time?
Okay.
So Yeah, I did email support. Still haven't gotten an answer yet. I know it's, it takes them probably a good 24 to 48 hours. So I don't know if you got any pull over there with, Mr. Wicks, but if somebody could just give us an answer.
Yeah, no, I could give you Gabriel. I could give you his Telegram where he'll be able to walk you through it. I mean, this is when they first started Magic Keys. Like we were pretty tight, and I could always like message him, and he would
Yeah.
like do a screen control and be able to help me with that. But
Yeah.
I don't know where they're at now because I haven't had many issues with Magic Keys lately. And to be honest with you, when it comes to Magic Keys, I only use like 4 of the buttons. Like
Yeah.
I don't go crazy with the trailing stop or anything like that. Not that that's crazy, but I don't use all that stuff, if that makes sense. I just basically use it to look at my risk, to place a trade, to go, close custom. What else do I do? Double trade, stop loss at entry, close full, close half, close custom. That's pretty much it. Open calc. All right, so now we're getting that little pullback over here on GJ. Price rejecting this area up here. So we'll see where GJ is going to be going from here. Let's take a look at gold now, so we could do a little breakdown. Again, the monthly on gold still holding that support here with a wick to potentially fill. We had been very bearish, especially since tapping into 2,000 over here for the last time, creating that wick, flipping bearish, closing a strong bearish candle. Top wick created on the next, past the low, created this wick to fill, and closed a very strong bearish. We're in the beginning of the month. Are we creating a top wick over here to flip bearish and continue down to fill that wick? Or are we going to hold support at 1830 to possibly continue up from here? You also have, not to mention, this trend over here on the weekly. Since the COVID highs over here, we've been in this corrective state, but we've been holding 1680. We've been holding 1750 as higher lows, right? And now 1830 could be holding as a higher low as well to possibly continue up. But this is a very key area. That's probably why you got that rejection of this area as well. You had this trend line meeting up with this trend line. It's a very key area. Not to mention holding this area as a support over here. Reacting to this area. Last time we were in this area, we skyrocketed up to all-time highs up here, right? So right now, looking at the current candles, like this candle was pushing bearish over here this morning when we woke up, and now it's starting to get back into a doji format. Where is this going to go? There's a lot of indecision, especially indecision with this candle right here closing as a doji, passing the high and the low. What's this candle going to be doing? Looking at the daily now, we are still sitting in this range, sitting right above 1830. We have our support right down here that we've been holding. Price just pushing up from that area like we were talking about. But right now, between 1870 and 1830, everything is sideways. It's more difficult for you to take a trade in this area now that we're in this area right now. But the if we look currently, we're forming this high or holding this support right here, right? Price keeps holding this support and bouncing off that area. So can we get another bounce like this coming back up and creating maybe even a new high up here? Or is this just like a retracement to potentially continue down, especially if after this last tap of 1870, after this one over here, could we be holding that resistance to continue down? All right, looking at the 4-hour, since holding this low down here, we've been printing higher lows, right? So right now, holding this support in here, printing higher lows, prices bouncing off. Where's our next level? Right over here. I'm looking right now at this previous support held as a resistance as well. Price is starting to meet up with that area. So can we continue through? I'm sure we're going to end up, adjusting this and seeing, what it looks like on the lower time frames. But right now we're kind of meeting up with this previous support over here. Can we form right over here? You have this kind of like a fake out of 1870 over here. And then what we did was we came down, created a lower high over here, and then continue right back down over here. So can we form another lower high in this area and then continue back down to 1836, maybe eventually 1830, right? Or are we going to start breaking above this level here and continuing up into this area, breaking that, and continuing up, catching this move over here to the left? We're looking at the 1 hour now. So the 1 hour, you had this previous support and previous resistance in this area. But if you look at it, really, you have this whole support here, support in this area as well. And price is now sitting in that area right now. I just want to mark this off. Mark it off to the left too. This is where breaking down charts gets very tricky when you're in this consolidation and everything's pretty much sideways, right? So, you know, what is price doing right now? I would say we can put this right here. We can always adjust. Like, are we right now closing above this area, right? With this candle coming down a retest, are we going to hold support in this area, or are we going to break below, holding resistance up here and continue down? If I were to look at it based on the 1 hour, I would say you should probably not take sells until we break this level and we continue right back down. I'm sure you got plenty of pips in here. Oh yeah, that you could grab, right? But we'll see. Right now, price is just bouncing off this area. So and we are pretty bullish over here on gold. Let me see the dollar actually. That might help. So the dollar is still holding support, bouncing off that key area over here, right? We're now breaking that bearish trend that we've been in. Looking at the 4 hour, breaking that bearish trend, higher lows right in this area, pushing up, breaking that previous resistance over here. Looking at the 1 hour, 1 hour is holding a support in here and continuing up, right? So maybe, just maybe, we're going to continue up from here, retesting the highs, continue up from there. And are we going to get some kind of a pullback from there on gold? See, there you go. That's the that's that support and previous resistance over here on the 30-minute. So like I said, I'm looking for I'm looking for support to hold here and price to close in our direction for a possible buy continuing up here. And then I'm not looking to trade anything in here, but I'm looking for possible sells coming right back down here. Does that make sense to you guys? Because you really don't know where the correct zones could be. Like they could be right here if you like, right? And some of you may be drawing them there, right? They could be right here where you have that previous, you know, it's basically the hourly resistance and support here, right? So that's kind of like the stronger level. But right now we are reacting to this level so far. We know that price has reacted to that level previously. So we'll see what we're doing in here. Maybe this is a no trade range right here, and then this is your move. Right? That would actually make sense. Get about 60 pips in here. Maybe not taking anything in here and waiting for this resistance to break to continue up, or not taking anything in here and waiting for this area to break. Does that make sense to you guys? I know it's a little confusing, but I just want to make sure we're all good before we move on. Yeah, this
We'll also get a support formed around like 1844.
1844, you said?
Yeah,
Right here?
yeah. Even
Yeah.
further left, it gets respected.
It's a great point right there. Yep. But I think there's definitely like room right here. Like maybe if we
Yeah.
did get that close below this area, you got this area to take a trade, and then what you could do is like leave a runner to continue through here.
Yeah.
But I would maybe secure here. You're right. You can also move that to the left as well. But yeah, right now this 1 hour candle is flipping at 707. And we are just kind of off to the races here. Higher lows, higher highs, breaking out of this bearish trend. right? 15-minute. Now the 15-minute passed the low of the previous candle, right? So is this valid enough for you to take this to continue up? Do you see that indecision there? Right. Let's go back to GJ real quick. All right, GJ is reacting to that area. Maybe we're starting to exhaust around 166. Yeah, you see that? What we ended up getting was a pretty strong 4-hour bearish candle. But you see the previous 4-hour bearish candles, they haven't done much for us as far as any kind of reversal. But right now, what you can see is not only that, but what you're getting is some kind of a weaker bullish candle right now. Could this candle be flipping bearish, continuing down to fill that wick? Also, if you look at the previous 4-hour candles, none of them really have broken structure. They haven't really broken the lows of the previous candles over here, right? Right over here, didn't even come close to breaking the previous candle. This one broke the low of the previous candle, closed a fairly strong bullish candle, and left a wick to fill, right? So could that be a hint that we could be continuing down and maybe getting some kind of a pullback? Let's take a look at Jamie's chart. Whoa. All right, there we go. All right. 30-minute. Beautiful. Got 28 pips in here, so that's definitely big enough for you to trade. And you're just waiting for any kind of pullback here to take price down, and you're waiting for the continuation up. That's perfect. Levels are all correct and everything. We don't even have to break that down on like the live chart.
Right.
Yeah, this is one of your best charts as far as predicting where price is going to go. And I like how like what you used to do when you first came in here was your retests were like up here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're making them smaller now, which is beautiful. Like that's all you need is a little retest right here and then take price out.
Awesome.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. And where are you guys in the group Trello? I've been the only one sending my charts in there for you guys to study. That's how you guys get better as well. Not only sending them in Slack, which obviously I can get to them right away, but I could add my annotations and my notes and everything on your trades there. So it's for you guys. It's not for me. It's so you guys could get better. So if you guys don't want to do that, yeah, it's up to you. It's your career. Price rejecting 166 over here. This is nice. It looks like we're really stalling out right now. Right? It looks like we're really getting that stalling. Can we form a lower high? Maybe wait for some kind of a 30-minute or 1-hour close up here before you take anything down. Just be aware of taking any sells. You don't want to be trying to call tops here. Where could we get safe sells here? Otherwise, like we're in a very bullish trend, right? And you gotta stick to your rules as far as trying to call tops or bottoms. Like right now, you're not gonna really have any safe sells until we start to break like 165, 200 down here, right? But right now, what I can see is this candle, like not this candle, but price at least coming down into this area. Right? You can definitely see that happening. Do you have enough pips in there, though, for that to happen? Got about 21 pips. Looking at the 15-minute, 15-minute is choppy too. We're still creating higher lows and higher highs. So it's hard for you to take any sells in this area because right now that's a pretty critical. And then looking at the higher time frames, we're extremely bullish. Right? The daily, the weekly, monthly, you're trading against that when you're selling. So like the best is really just to wait for like a higher low to be formed, maybe in here to continue up. But at the end of the day, you may want to wait for 167 to break to take price out before taking any buys over here. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So while we're waiting, gold is still sitting in this range over here. While we're waiting, who would like to draw their zones and break down US 30 right now? And then, I'll do my corrections after you guys do your breakdown. Anybody?
Bueller, anyone?
I mean, we could all try it, but I'm gonna try to mark it up and I'll send it to you.
Okay. Do you want to do it together right now, Tiff? Like you break down US 30 and then you know, I'll just you annotate. You show me like, all right, I want my zone here, I want my zone here, and then I'll go down to the next time frame and draw it for you. Do you want to do that? Tiff, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can annotate on my cell phone, but
oh, you're on your cell phone? Okay. All right, yeah. Send your chart and then we'll break it down right now. I'll have like you know, who wants to do it? Jamie, Quentin?
I'll rock. That's fine.
All right, cool. Let's this GJ breaking the previous low. Drawings. Wow. Here we go. We may have some good play over here. Something tells me that we got a trade that could be playing out right now. All right. Jamie, you are up.
All right. So I can clearly see we have a resistance level here. And sorry for the crookedness to the slant.
You're good.
We've come back down. At one point we held support here, but we've since broken below that. So that's an area that we need to So on our way down, yep.
Okay.
Because what we've done is we've actually broken through this level, come back up, created a doji indecision there, respected that area now, made it our resistance, and we're starting to head back down. So on this monthly time frame, we could get a beautiful wick fill to the bottom. We have clean traffic to the left that we can mirror until we get to this area of support down here, which we could form or break right through.
So you'd like to draw this right here?
Yes, please.
Okay. Beautiful. And is that it on the monthly?
Yeah, because you know we've created this resistance, so we're already establishing the lower highs.
Yep.
And our lower lows. So that's the next support level that we needed to break, which we've done. This is the next area that we need to focus on in order for us to continue our downward move.
Beautiful. Now we got the weekly. Is there anything you'd like to adjust or draw new?
On the weekly, we have this area of support that we've just formed, which coincides with this previous area of resistance. So because we have this area here, I'm wondering, do we even need that area? Do we need to focus on it or we just wait? The problem is we held it and we moved away from this in a very, huge bullish candle. So now we're starting to come back down. So are we going to do this and break through, or are we going to hit it again and stop there and go up?
What's this candle tell you after like a strong bearish candle formed?
So one or two things, we either have that's a demand area, so we have a lot of buyers sitting down in there, or we had a liquidity grab back up into this area here.
Yep. Well, what do you call something after you get a bearish candle and then a bullish candle, following it?
Bullish engulfing.
Yes, or a support, right?
So yeah.
Yeah, so that's a valid support right there, and that the candle body lows for you to retest. So I mean, I would mark that up, but it's up to you.
Let's put a zone there, just something for us to keep an eye on because we reacted to it.
Okay, you want it right there?
Yeah.
Right there. All right, and is that it on the weekly?
Yeah, because we already have resistance here.
Yep.
So we're good to go there. Wait, do me a favor, bring that zone down a little bit here, only because there. No,
Here. Oh,
that
there
one.
you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the better area.
Beautiful. All right, daily.
Daily, we can clearly see we have an area here that we need to be concerned with. Resistance, support, support. Now we're starting to break through it, but the question is, are we going to be able to close below that zone, or are we going to react to it again and start heading back up?
Mm-hmm. And this is all you want to draw?
Yeah, because we have support established here, we rejected the zone here, and we moved away from it.
Just so you know, when I ask you that, I'm not like, it's not like a trick question or anything like that. It's just like I'm just making sure before we move on.
Yeah, I got it, and I'm analyzing at the same time, trying not to stay in my head by putting too many things on the chart.
I agree.
So
I agree. Just trying to look at something. All right, 4 hour.
So 4 hour, actually, we need to bring that zone. No, actually, there's good where it's at because we have resistance. Thing is we have support here, rejected, support. So we have a zone here that we kind of need to be aware of. I'd like to put something there, please. Beautiful. And we need to measure how big, how large this area is.
Got about 168 pips.
Okay, so that's a nice area for us to trade in, which we're below that zone right now, so below that area of resistance. Mm-hmm. So if we get some nice moves in here, we could do something like this and catch it on the way down to fill this wick and come back and retest the support.
Yeah, this is a very, very nice setup right here. Beautiful setup, especially with this candle right now on the 4 hour. So let's see what we look like in the lower time frame.
Okay, clear that. Wow, that's beautiful. I mean, we literally created support, came back up resistance, top rejection wick. The next bearish candle broke the low of this previous 1 hour candle. We shot down, came back into the zone, top wick rejection, current candle broke the low, is now heading down. We even have a bottom wick.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I mean, I could tell how much you could read basic price action now and candle bodies and reading the anatomy of the candles. Like you've gotten so much better in the last couple of weeks. So just keep up with it. It's awesome.
Trying to learn all the details.
Yes, sir. 30-minute.
So 30-minute. Right now we're already below this area. So the question, and we've broken this low, which would have expected to create some kind of pullback like that before heading back down. So what we're going to get now is we already had this top wick rejection. Clear that off. I expect price to continue. What do we have 9 minutes before this candle closes. So I expect the next candle to do a top wick before coming down to fill this wick and just continuing on down.
Is there, do you want this candle closing any specific way?
I prefer this candle to close below these lows.
Beautiful.
If it closes back up in this area, that tells me all we're doing, that was a liquidity grab. Could be a possible fake out before starting to try and go back up and come back in to retest this area.
Okay, I like it. Now, is that it on US 30? Do you want to look at the 15-minute?
Yeah, we need to shrink this zone a little. Below, just kind of clean it up so it falls right here.
This one?
Yeah. There you go. Now we can clearly see the top wick rejection.
You got that closed blow on the 15-minute. Is that enough for you?
Yeah, can we put a zone here, please?
So now you're just waiting for a retest right here to take price down.
Yes.
All right. I like it. Good job, man. All right. So now what I'm looking at over here is I'm just going to adjust a few things. Like as kind of correcting a few things. Not that there's much to correct. I think it was a great breakdown. Just want to show you guys kind of like the way I'm looking at this right now. So resistance up here, obviously correct, right? This area right here is correct as well. You have all these wicks in this area as well, but you also have like our current resistance right in this area. And then you get this resistance over here to the left, plus these wicks meeting up with that area, support wicks meeting up with the area, and now our current resistance. You have, since tapping into all-time highs around 37,000, we've been in this like bearish trend over here. Lower lows, lower highs, just created this new low. I like where you put your zone right over here. That support. Right now we are coming up, or actually we already came up. This candle closed a no top wick over here. So can we hold this resistance? Can this candle, obviously this one closed bearish, but that candle created a top wick, pass the low of that candle. Can we continue right back down? Looking at the daily now. Daily, I'm going to keep my zone in the same spot. You got that resistance, support right over here. Maybe just make it a little smaller. And then bring that up to our resistance right over here. Because my main concern is most recent support and resistance. So I'm looking at here, and then I'm looking left. Instead of looking left and then going right. I'm just looking at the most recent support resistance for my strategy as a scalper, right? Looking left first may come in more handy as a swing trader too, but that's another conversation. Right now, what I'm looking at is currently this resistance being formed. Most recent support and resistance sitting right here. We can always adjust it, but price has rejected this area a few times over here, and now we're holding that resistance and starting to break that area over here with a clean move to the left once we break that. That's the daily. 4 hour. 4 hour now. Just gonna adjust this so far to right down here. Because you get this support, you get the most recent support and resistance. I think we're gonna have safer sells once we break this area and continue back down into our next level right down here. Get a clean move right here to the left here that you could grab. That doesn't mean you can't grab anything in here because this is the 4 hour. I'm just talking about the higher time frames. Once we break our recent support right here, right? And technically you could really draw this like this. I just don't like doing that. It's just a mess, especially as a scalper. So mainly on the 4 hour, I'm looking at this level, and we're gonna see what we look like on the lower time frames. But we could definitely be marking this level off right here too. I just want to see what it looks like on the 1 hour. Okay, so now what we have is that 4 hour support that we've rejected multiple times right here as well, right? So now it looks like we want to keep revisiting it. Since tapping at that resistance up here, we've been printing lower highs. And now we've been in this like little bearish trend over here. Printing lower lows and lower highs since creating that lowest high over here to continue down. Now, again, we're going back to most recent support resistance. We have kind of like a little fake out right over here. Right? Price held that resistance. It looked like we were continuing down, but we held support in here and came right back above that resistance. But then we closed right back below it. Right? This candle created a top wick, passed the low of that candle, and continue right back down to that support. Next 1 hour candle created a top wick, passed the low of the previous, passed the low of the support, and came right back down into this area right over here, which we need to be aware of because price is currently rejecting that area. Right now, we got the 30-minute about to close in 3 minutes, so we'll see how that closes. But the 1 hour candle right now is snapping back. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I don't like this just kind of sitting here. I like the clean move to the left on the 30-minute, so I'm just going to get rid of that. We can definitely be aware of some of these levels over here, especially our low that was formed here. We need some kind of a close below that level so that we could take this whole move right here. Got about 133 pips here. So can we get a close below that level? before the 30-minute candle closes, or are we going to close right back above that level and potentially not continue down, maybe continue to consolidate? But I like it so far. I think we are going to continue down. But that's what I'm looking at over here on US 30. But like I said, I think you're going to have safe sells coming all the way down into this area on the higher time frames. But once we do break 32,550 over there, you get a clean move here right back down into this area where you have, let's say, 280 pips. 260. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, do you like how I did that, Jamie? Just like let you break it down, and then I break it down this way, and maybe this makes sense to you too.
I love it because it gives me that view afterwards as to what I needed to correct and where I should be looking.
It's like doing a crossword puzzle and then going back and looking at what the words were supposed to be.
Yep.
So all right, so that's US 30. That's kind of what we're waiting for. It looks like we're going to be closing above that area and rejecting that support, kind of faking this support level out, but this could be a deeper pullback. I don't know US 30 as much as I do my other pairs, right? So maybe this could be a common thing that we get that pullback into this area, and then New York volume comes around, and then we continue down. I'm sure we're going to continue the bearish momentum throughout the New York Stock Exchange open, maybe even New York, Forex market open. We could get like some kind of a retest over here, right? After consolidating up here, and you can always draw this right here, right? Consolidating here, finally broke it. Can we come up into this area, hold a resistance, and then continue right back down and retest the lows over here? All right, so we'll see what kind of reaction we get. But right now, just so you guys know, what I'm doing is I'll be journaling the trades on US 30 moving forward for the next month, probably, just to see like how this thing moves during New York. We'll be breaking it down every day. We'll be back testing it as well, just so that we get a good idea of how this indice moves. It's a very difficult one to trade, as I understand. I haven't traded it yet personally, but it's definitely something that's enticed me, and something that, like, coming from the stock market, which is the first thing I started with, being able to trade this now would be pretty cool. This and NASDAQ, you got a bunch of different indices in the foreign exchange market that you could be trading and catching a lot of pips on. You could also lose a lot of pips too, but let's not do that. 30 analysis. I'm gonna keep that there. Let's go over to, all right, GJ, we got that little pullback, 15-minute, trying to like hold a support, like a higher low. Could we be continuing up from here? We keep rejecting these areas though. Let's see. Yeah, 30-minute obviously closed below this area for the second consecutive time, holding a double top up here, but we don't know what we're getting until we start to break certain levels like this 30-minute support. In that case, you got 31 pips in here that you could grab. That's enough for you to take a sell. I think these will be fairly safe sells. Could very well take it down over here for about 50 pips, but these are going to be safer sells below that 165-200 level. All right, sounds good, Jamie. All right, Quentin, you want to break down something for us?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I saw you. Looked like you were trying to raise your hand. Do you have a pair that you'd like to break down? Something that intrigues you?
You can pick one, otherwise, or I can break down Euro USD again, or any other.
Now, is Euro USD something you've been watching?
Not that much, but
Not
a
that
little.
much? but it's something you would like to break down.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. All right. So this is EU. Now, what would you like to mark off over here on the monthly? Just make
So
sure my
the most
computer isn't
obvious
unplugged again.
first zone is the support we are at.
Beautiful.
We can keep in mind that we have this trend like that, yeah.
You want to draw it? The first one, the second one?
It's not really something we have to draw, but I just want to have it in mind that
Sure.
we have this lower highs each time on the monthly. So we are in a global bearish trend with kind of this being parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have it in mind that we might break that support and continue down following that trend.
Yeah. And,
But
everyone looking at this bearish trend over here from the United States, this is good for you if you're traveling to Europe, right? It's costing you less to go to Europe. I remember when like prices at like 118 per dollar or 120 per dollar, whatever here as well. 2018, 125 per dollar. So that's it costs a lot more for you to go to Europe as a United States citizen than it does the other way around for Europe to come here, right? It costs like, I know a lot of you guys, a couple of you guys like brag a little bit, like saying that you pay a little bit less for mentorship, being that like, you're really paying this
Yeah.
amount of euros compared to, I think that was you, right, Quentin? Might have been.
no, I think I told you, I should have enrolled earlier to have that better change.
Oh, what up here? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So now and now it's starting to get a little even now. Once we start to break this support
Yeah.
over here, we're pretty much even with the dollar. Whatever
Yeah.
here. Right. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't mind. So I guess basically in the global structure, that's the only thing I watch. We'll have on the weekly, daily, we'll have a better view of what's happening here.
Okay. Right there.
Yeah. So we'll adjust that, being that we have all these weeks. We don't really know what's happening in there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, all these weeks you gotta figure that out. All right. Looking at the weekly.
So yeah, looking at the weekly. Where does it match? And then to here, is it? Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is a significant area where we might find a resistance right now, stopping us from continuing up, maybe going back to retest these lows.
So right here, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to keep this?
Perfect. No, we can delete it.
All right. And anything with the support over here? Or do you want to keep it in the same spot?
The support, well, yeah, we can lower it to down here.
That good?
Yeah, looks good.
All right, so now you have most recent support and resistance over here marked off. Any update on the trend? Beautiful.
I would draw this like that.
So with this trend, we're printing lower highs and lower lows.
Yep, still being in that downtrend.
You almost kind of have one within the trend as well right here, but we don't have to mark that off.
Yeah,
daily?
we'll see on the daily. If we were to come up, yeah, can draw that on the daily too. I don't know if we broke that trend already or not. This one. Oh no. Yeah, it's matching perfectly. The three
There you go.
highs.
Lower lows, lower highs, trend within a trend.
And it's starting to get much more clear. If we wanted to take sales, it'd be best to wait for that area to break, and then we would have safe sales down into here, and eventually here, and down into the lows.
All right. Makes sense. Adjust this a little for you. All right. Awesome. This is the 4 hour.
So the most recent level here that we broke is this one. Right now we see that we have a lot of wicks into the last few candles. Are we struggling in that area? I don't know if that's relevant, being that we went through twice without stopping. Is it a significant area or not?
Is there a better spot for this, would you say? Is there any area to the left you'd like to adjust that to?
Maybe here.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's that valid area now. Recent resistance, support. We tapped into that area over here and now we're continuing bearish. So do we get a clean move back down to the support?
Yeah.
1 hour?
Let's go.
All right. And we get a little choppy now.
Yeah, it's getting tough here. We have a lot of wicks.
Big wicks, small bodies.
Yeah, being that the clean move kind of stops when we get into this. So I don't know if sometimes I feel like when we have a consolidation like that to the left with a clean move, I don't really know if I should expect price to come down into this level or really pay attention to the level we just marked off.
Yeah, you know what?
Before.
I wouldn't say struggle, but that's always been a thought of mine. I think it's really on a case by case basis as far as like setups and everything. So in this situation, like if let's say I was in a sell right here, maybe this is somewhere I'd be taking profit, especially because you have that support over here as well. Like just this whole general area right here. I would like if I took sells from up here, I'd probably want to be, securing something in here before reaching 106.4 right down here, but the
okay,
let's see, So, but you don't want to draw it like that, right? Rather,
Yep.
This will be your area.
But yeah, looking at how price action is in here, I don't really know. I wouldn't really know how to take a trade in here unless because we have long wicks in here.
Yep. There you go. So I'm looking at this area too. Yeah, support held here, and we're struggling to break below this area right now. And keep rejecting. This wick lines up with that wick as well. We are in the bearish trend with a nice wick rejection, flip bearish, and we keep making lower highs over here since. Looking at the 30-minute now. 30-minute looks like we're like closing below and continuing down. Question is, how many pips? You only have about 13 pips into that area.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah. And like, look how choppy this price action is here. Let's see something. Just want to adjust this trend line for you. Yeah, so this is probably where you want to like stick to some of the higher time frames over here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was
Um,
gonna ask you to go back to the 4 hour.
yeah. So that's why I always love going back to the 4 hour and the 1 hour when I'm breaking down charts and stuff like that. Just
Yeah,
to see like what we're
I guess
looking at again.
all this area is not so much
Yeah.
of a good area to trade in. All that.
Yeah, 100%. I
Maybe
think
wait for a break above or below here would be best.
absolutely. There might be safe sells below
Yeah,
106.32, somewhere around this area. Safe sells below here, coming right back down into this area.
yeah, these would be nice sells.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like this is that area that you were talking about. Like maybe you want to secure, like right there. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah.
What we're talking about over here. But like
Kind
with
of
this,
matching here.
yes. But like with this, you got a clean move that pushed through there recently. So to me, there's nothing that's stopping it
Yeah,
from continuing to
yeah.
push through.
Agreed.
You know, I think this is your area of interest to take price down into, and that you'll have about
Yeah.
25.
That would be really a small partial.
About
Take profit.
83 pips. Yeah, absolutely. But we are continuing down here. I like the price action to continue down. And I think,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, look at this. I think right now with how the price action is setting up, you might be able to take a sell like right now with your stop loss above here and easily be able to manage risk. Does that make sense?
yeah, it should continue like slowly.
Like maybe you could have taken it as this candle flip bearish, but you're anticipating some kind of a move right in here. Let's see how that plays out. You could live back test it. 746. You normally get some good volume in that time. Let's go back to our normal pairs. GJ, just to get a little update. Go, what's happened now? Oh, there we go. There we go. It was 30, ended up rejecting that area, closing above. GJ over here. So Quinn, is that like a pair you would want me to add to this watch list over here?
I don't really know if I'm gonna be focusing on gold or Euro USD as a second pair.
Mm,
I've been focusing on GJ, and I just started wondering which one I should add as a second, like really secondary pair, like a couple days ago.
yeah.
Um, Still, I was leaning more toward gold, as that's something that would break down every single day, that everybody trades.
Yeah.
But yeah, only for that reason.
So I always think it's very important to have a secondary pair. Whatever that secondary pair is, make sure you go through the proper process of, maybe I would say anywhere from like 2 to 4 weeks, so about a month of live back testing it and journaling the trades you would have taken on it. And just keep
Yeah.
watching, looking for certain setups during your what's it called, your session, looking for certain setups, and then going back and back testing to see how many times that setup presents itself and how successful it is. That's all back testing is. So just do
Yeah.
that, and do that for the next few weeks to a month, and then you can start executing, because now you're going to start seeing these setups play out multiple times. Let me just see. Let's put that up over here. Gold is starting to break down, holding that resistance up there. We're going to readjust gold's zones over here as well, I think. But let me just hop over to the bathroom really quickly, and I'll be right back.
Sammy, when do you break down the chart for us? Cool.
Yo. All right, let's see. Chat is busy. Just on a phone call, all good. GJ 30-minute closing. Hopefully stronger than the okay. So you want to see this 30-minute close bullish, Sammy? Got Lewis in here too. What's up, buddy? Carlos, what's up, guys?
What up? Good morning.
Good morning, my man. How are you?
Feeling great. How about you, bro?
Doing great, man. Yeah, GJ, I feel like Sammy, it'll be better once we start breaking above 166, 140, 150. So like this is your range right here to trade. Yeah, plenty of range there too. The 43 pips. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we are forming a higher low. And like if that's something you want to take, because I could see us like forming the higher low to continue through this area with New York volume to continue up. You see the 1 hour. The 1 hour is rejecting here. Only thing is the 1 hour is forming that lower high over here. We're starting to get exhausted. Where like I could see us like I could actually make a crazy call right now, but I could definitely see us like the next candle over here. It looks like we push up with New York volume and then we end up rejecting this level over here and then we continue down a little bit, right? And what we need is some kind of a support on the Japanese yen. Yeah, so we need some kind of a support over here held on the Japanese yen and like some kind of a pullback over here for that to happen. But right now everything is bullish and you could very well be right as far as like a higher low being formed to continue up. It's just like this may be a little tricky for you to trade in. Like is this range, if we're holding a higher low right here, is this range big enough is the question. It's about 22, 23 pips right there, but you are playing around with 166, that level, psychological level. Yeah, it's tricky. Holding that support here on the 15-minute. Got 5 minutes left for the 1 hour to close. So let's see how this thing closes. Gold over here now. Let's readjust everything on gold. Get the 4 hour. Because everything is a little difficult right now to look at. All right, so looking at the 4 hour tapped into this area over here. Let's get rid of this. Redraw everything. Gold is very tricky right now. Everything is sideways. We are holding this higher low, but at the same time, this candle passed the low of that candle and then flip bullish. Again, the 4 hour. Again, fake out up here, continue down, lower high, continue down. And now can we hold that as a resistance to continue down? So far, the 1 hour, we are holding that as a resistance, right? So we're in this bearish trend. And it looks like we broke out of it right over here to possibly continue up. But oh, we'll see. What we need, again, if you're going to take any sells, is this to be broken. Right? Once we close below that area, got about 89 pips here. About 90. Way more than that. That you could be taking price right back down into this support. Right over here. Question is if you want to trade in this, you do have a range up here that you could be trading in if you get buys, but safer or is going to be up here. right? Like right into this area. That's your safe zone. All right, so now we're just waiting. New York open. See how this 1 hour candle closes? It may close as a strong 1 hour candle right over here. And then the next one creates a top wick. If we pass the low over here and we start passing these lows with New York volume, you may be able to grab a nice impulse move to continue down. All right, especially if we're looking at the dollar here and the dollar keeps holding this support. We're holding support on the US dollar, and now we're holding this resistance right here on gold. So maybe we can expect a continuation through the support right there. All right. So Carlos, Lewis, Sammy, you guys want to break down the chart for us? Maybe Lewis with the Bitcoin or any of the cryptos.
Yeah, I'll be up for it.
Oh, good shit, man. Love
Uh,
it. What would you like to focus on, Carlos?
Yeah, that's a good question because I usually just stick to GJ for now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can go back to where I started, UJ.
Want to do UJ? We can do UJ. We haven't broken
Yes.
that down in a long time.
Yeah, sure. So I started with UJ when I first started trading. So
Did he really? I'm gonna add some of these to our watch list. Just so that we you know what? I'm gonna do ECAP over here. Here we go. 8 o'clock just came around, so I just wanna wow, look at that. Yeah. The New York close just came around, so I just want to go back to our New York open just came around, so I just want to go back to our pair, see how it opened, and then we'll go back to that. All right, Carlos.
yeah, for sure, no problem.
All right, so hourly candle just closed a weak bearish candle over here in a bullish trend for the morning. So can we create a bottom wick over here and then pass the high of that candle to continue up? Is that even a trade that you would want to take, or would you rather wait for other things to happen over here? Like so far, this 30-minute and 1 hour barely has that bottom wick, but we did create a higher low, and we could continue up from here. It's a little tricky. See, I'm not in any urge. I took a nice trade on gold last night. I'm not in any urge to like just try to squeeze this move out. I think I may just wait for the for the safe buys up here to take price up. Yeah, 5 minute is holding this higher low. Sammy, are you in this? No? I think he's on a phone call or something. No, okay. Yeah, this is a tricky range to trade in. You're basically just playing higher lows and higher highs in here, right? Set it against it. Okay, nice. So you did get some kind of another dip to continue up from here. Just trying to see, like, if you put your stop loss below this area, you're definitely going to have enough area to manage risk. It's about 20 pips away, your stop loss would be. And you're basically banking on price creating a new high and continuing through here and grabbing a better area. So maybe you could lower your risk here, putting your stop loss here and then take this up. But if that's not in your rules, I would probably stay against it. What I would do right now is now live back test this. Like we could do that together. So let's say we wanted it after this candle created its bottom wick, past the high of that candle, put your stop loss right here, and your anticipation is that price will continue up to create a new high with New York volume. So let's see if that works out. You don't always have to be part of the market to be a trader. Just keep that in mind. All right, so we did get that 1 hour candle close on gold, but it closed with no bottom wick. And this candle right now is retracing. That doesn't mean we can't create a top wick here, flip bearish, and continue down. And if that's the case, I could see us very well continuing down from here. And maybe taking it even as this candle starts to flip bearish with the New York volume. Trust me, these things, and like what I was just talking about with GJ right here, you can only do when price has a lot of volume in it, when your pair has a ton of volume. When it's Asian session or pre-New York and you don't have as much volume as you normally do, that's where you want to maybe lie back test some of these experimental moves.
Euro USD dropped the way you called it.
Did it?
If you want to take a look at it.
Yeah, let's see. Did I add it to the watch list? No, not yet. I think I did it. US. Wow, there you go. Right down to that support, fill that wick and continued up. So did we yeah, I think we live back tested this, didn't we? So what I want to do is this Euro USD. Yeah, there it is. So this would have been a successful sell right over here. Again, all these wick rejections and candle body closes like bearish. Once this candle created its style wick past the low of that candle, but also it was based on this candle closing with a wick to fill. You know, you have plenty of room to manage this if we came back up into this area and started rejecting this support. Once we're in here, you could start like cutting off 50 or closing the full thing, only losing half of what you plan on doing. But right here, got your spot, your sell in the, or stop loss in a safe spot. Yep.
Yeah, using the fact that we closed below the previous bodies on the 30-minute.
Yes, sir. That would have been 10 pips right there.
Yeah.
Only reason we didn't take it was one, that's not really a pair. We don't really trade that too much. And two, it's only 13 pips right in here. So I want to add Euro USD to this. Beautiful. Gold retracing a little bit over here. GJ's still pushing up. Again, we had New York volume coming in. That could be that catalyst. Lewis, how you doing, buddy? You're on mute if you didn't realize.
Wasn't Carlos supposed to break down UJ?
What's that? Yeah. Oh, Carlos. Yes. I'm sorry, buddy. Holy shit. Good call.
Nah, it's all good. I thought we were just focusing on GJ, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, sneaking out of it.
Nah, yeah, whenever we're ready.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that. All right. All right. Looking at the monthly of UJ. Now again, the drill, just annotate where you want your zones, and I'll draw them out for you.
All right, cool. How do I do that? Annotate.
There should be like options on the Zoom settings, like options there, and
Got
then
it.
one of them is annotate. It might
Yeah,
be at the top.
cool. Yeah, I got it. All right, so the first thing I see right now is I feel like UJ is like really overextended, but
Okay.
I will put my resistance right here. Oh wait, oops. Hold on. It's my first time agitating.
You're good, man.
So I'll probably put like right here in this area.
Okay, so Carlos, there's actually a tool with the annotation that you can use like a rectangle. Do you see that where it says draw?
Oh, okay, I see
And
draw.
then don't use the hard rectangle like the filled in one. Use the one with all the dots on the inside.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right,
With
cool.
the one that's empty.
All right, so I would draw my resistance right here, like in this area right here. My monthly resistance.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh, my bad.
let's see.
Is that where you want it or lower?
No, yeah, that's fine right there.
Okay.
So that would be my monthly resistance, and then my monthly support will most likely I will most likely put it like right here. Like right here in this area.
Nice.
So for the and also the lower lows right here for the monthly.
Right here.
Uh,
Oh,
like down here.
right
Just because,
here.
just because I feel like that's like it could be another support.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And from there, I'll probably because like so this is where I will like kind of get like tricky because like it's really consolidating
Mhm.
in this area. So I feel like there's a lot of like like there's this right here, and then like this area right here.
Mm.
It's just like really choppy. So sometimes I get like confused when I see all this, but I know it's just a monthly. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's not something that you really have to worry about as of right now.
right,
I'm looking at this. Like, if you want to break down this price action, yeah, this bearish trend that we were respecting finally ended up holding this support and creating a higher low over here again and breaking through that. And after that, we ended up creating this support, higher low. We ended up creating this support right in here. And then breaking through this level right over here. And then continuing up. So if we came back below this area and closed below that area, I could see us either coming down to this area right here, previous resistance, but also like right into here. Like a pullback into this area.
right.
But this is your breakdown. So I'll get this down. So do you want to go down to the weekly?
Yeah.
All right.
So the weekly looks, you know, a little more cleaner. I would definitely put my, let's say like my see around this area right here. My next resistance, like this area.
Okay.
Like
Next
I would
support.
put, like, yeah, my next support, like, you know, if price would come back down and like break this level right here, I feel like it'll be like, you know, good confirmation. And then this area right here, because on the left, I see like there's a lot of consolidation.
Your next level is right here.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, down to the now what about for buys?
For buys, I think I would want to like,
Because you know, fundamentals are all buys right now.
right. I think I would want to like a retest, probably in like the lower, like a lower time frame, maybe from like, yeah, just like that.
Okay. And the level, what's that next target that you want to hit?
I guess I would have to go to like to the left to see what's
Yep.
to see what's and if all right. So yeah, it would be the higher high of that level, right? Yeah, right there.
All right. So that's your next target over there. So you'd like to see that retest before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here you go with the daily.
So the daily looks you know, like we said, it's bullish. Because it's like the trend line, like
Yeah.
right here by 12700. But as far as levels on a daily, I don't know. I might need a little help because it looks pretty clean to me.
Yeah, I think this is really good.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think
this-
it's like for the daily, it's pretty clean.
One thing I would want to just do is go over to the left to see what's inside this range that could possibly stop us. So we're sitting in a nasty range to be truthful.
Yeah.
We have this resistance right over here, right? So we get that resistance right there. So after that, then you get that move up into this resistance 135, which is a very strong level. Every time we've rejected that level. So now could we get some kind of a reaction to that level? Create that resistance. We continue down to retest this level and then continue up. Does that sound about right?
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. 4 hour. Okay.
Okay. So the 4 hour, this would be my like my support right here.
Okay.
And so now right here, I'll be thinking like, should I adjust that level at the 133,500 or should I, you know, should I, because this is where sometimes like, all right, because it still looks pretty clean to me,
Mhm.
but that the level at 133,500, I don't know if I will pull that resistance down to 13300.
Okay. So I would actually just draw a new one
Oh, new one? Okay.
right here. I think you did a great job with the support. But now you have that resistance and price most likely is probably consolidating here on the 4 hour. Unless it's holding like a higher low here on the lower time frame. So all right, so here you go. Now what would you do with this zone?
Oh, I will pull it down to yeah, just yeah, right there, and then I would draw another zone like right here. You know, like just well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would give
And
it
it-
more.
Yeah, no, I'm drawn the way you want it. So I automatically did that because that's what I was thinking. But if this is that next zone that you want to bring price into, especially in a bullish trend, you might, if you're in a major bullish trend, and fundamentals are bullish, but you break the previous support over here, like on the 1 hour, I would definitely be securing at that resistance instead of waiting for this area right here, if that makes sense. I just want to go back over to gold real quick. So we're starting to break the low over here. So what time is it? Okay. So this is what I was talking about. Let's see if the 15-minute, if we get a close below this area, I think we're going to continue down here. But this might be an opportunity for you to take sells. I was talking about if we get that top wick rejection here and this candle pass below that candle, you may have an opportunity to take sells right here. So we can lie back test this move right here. But I am looking for some sort of a, close below this area for us to take price down, maybe at 830, right? Where the 830 candle closes back into this range. Yeah, this is something that I may have taken and lowered my risk on. Get the New York volume coming in. Again, I know this is a no trade range, but after the confirmations, the reason why it wasn't was because we didn't know if this was a resistance or not, or if this was the support to continue up, like a higher low to continue up. But I had a feeling that we'd reject this level, but I needed first of all, the 1 hour candle close, which is great, but we get a nice healthy top wick rejection on this candle, passing the low of that candle, you very well grab this thing down. But again, I think our entry is going to be safer waiting for that close below this area. Day fam have to run. Time to make the donuts. Yes, sir. See you in the chat and see you tomorrow morning. Right. So now we're starting to reject this level. It's kind of really why you want to wait for candles to close in certain areas. So let's just wait for that to happen, and then we'll check on it at 8:29, 8:30. So Carlos.
Yes, sir.
Pull up a chart, Steph, and see if I can break it down.
Yeah, sure. As soon as we're done with this one.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Yep. All right, Carlos, you want to do anything else with this? I think these are nice zones, actually.
Yeah. I like where that's at because, if anything, it'll be like, like if I could draw, just like, like break and retest
Yes, sir.
this area.
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
yeah, we could move on to the next time frame, 30-minute.
Got about you got about 49.50 pips in here that you'd be able to grab. 30-minute. So this I would say is a no trade range. You got to
Right.
support holding, and could price be continuing through up to that 500 level. Let's actually see that level again to the left. Yeah, you got that resistance here, and that's the daily. That's a daily resistance right there. So that's why that level is so legit. The 133 500 level, and then once we break that, we got price coming up into our major resistance up there. So you do have a solid amount of pips in here, about I'd say 100 something. Let me see. And right now, ever since holding this support, we've just been pushing up. Nothing stopping us on the daily. 4 hour. Now again, got that resistance holding. So can we get some kind of a pullback, deeper pullback before continuing up? Right? Every time we've gotten a stall over here, we've gotten a little pullback and then continue up. Stalled out, little pullback, and then continued up. stall, little pullback, continue up. All the fundamentals are on our side. Weak Japanese yen, stronger dollar with the increase in interest rates. So the U.S. is tightening monetary policy, increasing the value of the dollar. Japanese yen is now giving easier monetary policy, right, and making it a lot weaker. So both are opposite, and that's the kind of pair that you want to trade. When one is going one way, the other is going the other way. Now you could have one pair going one way, the other one's kind of staying stagnant. You don't have as much volume. Or both pairs are strong, both pairs are weak, then you're going to have a consolidating market. But when you have one that's strong and one that's weak, then you get the trending market. I know it's very simple, but it just makes sense. I'm just going to go over to gold again real quick, double check on that. And then Tiff, you can break down, what would you like to break down?
Let me get another chart other than gold.
Yeah, of course. Great job, by the way, Carlos.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you feel like that helps a little bit? Like as far as like clearing up zones and the way you're looking at the chart?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing these more because you get a lot more feedback and keep sending charts, by the way, in the group and all that stuff. But like when I do that, you're gonna get the after analysis of what I'm thinking with that pair. But when we're breaking down, like you guys are doing your full breakdown, then I correct it after. That's real-time feedback right then and there that you're going to be able to get for your trading. So the more we do this every day, the better you guys are going to get.
I feel also
yeah.
it's like, sorry. Putting words on the analysis we do in our heads is really different, and it's like voicing our analysis really helps. Really putting that into words, and I feel that helps a lot.
Yeah, no, it's a constructive conversation about our pairs is always great to have. And like if you ask any mentor too, like this goes for questions. If you ask any mentor that runs a live stream, the best thing that you guys can do is just ask us questions. Because like when you guys ask questions, we're constantly being able to answer all these things that you're trying to ask us, and it really fills up time. You guys get a lot of information out of us, but like if I'm not being asked questions, then like what do I know to help you guys with, if that makes sense, right? I can only do what I think is going to be good for you. But if you guys are struggling in one aspect, then ask the question and then I'll answer it for you. But when it comes to like breaking down charts, you're right. Like it's in real time, and you guys are getting so much more out of it for us to do that. And then also we're making the most of our time. We're not sitting around here, doing nothing, just waiting for our pairs to set up. We're keeping busy. We're staying active. We're not constantly like looking at a consolidating market trying to manufacture a trade, right? So like the more we keep doing this, the better you guys are going to get. And to be honest with you, this idea came from Quinn, and it's a great idea. So let's just keep doing it. You guys are going to get better. Let's see, chat. So yeah, Tiff, what pair are you thinking?
It could be random. I'm really trying to just develop my skills. So I just want to make sure it's nothing that I marked up previously.
Okay, cool. Let's actually take a look at let's do this right now.
Yeah, I cut you off, Tiffany. Sorry before.
That's fine.
So if we look at market milk real quick, again, US dollar is the strongest right now. Let's see, Japanese yen, and then you get the strong pound right now. So obviously then you're gonna get a trending market. Top gainers right now for the day, right? Do any of these, and then you get top losers over here as well. Tiff, do any of these appeal to you?
I missed you, Steph. Say it again, please.
I was saying like these up here are top gainers for the day. These are top losers for today. These are the most volatile currencies right now for the day. Most volatile pairs, least volatile pairs. So do any of these pairs appeal to you? Like any of these that you want to do specifically, or do you want me to just pick? Tiff, do you have any preference?
Yeah, just pick any from the least volatile group.
Okay. All right. So we did Euro USD. Do you want to do GBP CAD? Do you want to do Euro CAD?
Hello, good morning. USD CAD.
USD CAD. Okay, nice. So we can again, I'm just waiting on GJ or gold over here to close. Looks like we're gonna close above that support there. So I'll be monitoring it over here. I'm just gonna put my magic keys on here. I'm not taking any trade. Don't worry. Just waiting for this candle to close, and it's actually gonna close below that level, which is what we want. I'm gonna take this off. So this trade would still be valid if we took it as it broke the low over here with our stop loss up here. But right now we're getting that bearish momentum. 1 hour candle about to close below that area. Actually, the 1 hour candle is not about to close, but 1 hour candle is pushing. Already created a top wick. So the 30-minute just closed. Did it? Yep. Just closed. Let's see if we get a top wick rejection and the next candle past the low of that candle. Possibly we could get something down into here. Where was that? Was that our wick? That's not enough to have like a stop loss up here. I don't want to have a stop loss up here. I want to see some kind of a, wick rejection where I could put my stop loss up here, like a deeper one. I don't want to see us create like a small top wick and then it's still 8:30 and we're already passing the low of that candle. If we're doing that, I don't want to be a part of it because I don't have a valid stop loss as of yet. But to be clear, this is where I could have entered right here, potentially. And that's something that maybe you want to journal. And then moving over to GJ over here. GJ is still holding that higher low support. We did get a strong 30-minute close here. This candle actually rejected 166, where we continued through. Again, I think safer buys are going to be up here. We're just live back testing this. Now you said, Tiffany, you said USD CAD.
Right.
All right.
All right, good deal.
I didn't even know I had this marked up before.
Uh-oh.
Been a while.
Oh.
All right.
Right.
Monthly.
Okay, starting from the monthly.
I think this is gonna be big for you, Tiff.
Yeah, this is big because I'm having trouble reading the markets, to be quite honest with you.
I got you.
I'm not the best at it, of course.
So let's make it a thing to do this every day.
All right, awesome. Okay, so the market was in a downtrend, and we got signal of the reversal due to a bearish engulfing. Of that bearish engulfing, go ahead and put a support line right under there, starting from the top of the bearish engulfing candle.
Right here.
Starting from the bottom.
So this right here.
Sorry.
I can't hear you.
Starting from the bullish engulfing candle.
Right here.
Down one more.
This one.
So just so you know, when I do my markups, I start at the bottom to the top. I don't know why, but I don't know.
Okay.
My mind works, I guess.
Okay. if you can annotate and just show me where you want me to put it.
I can't annotate. I'm driving and I have the cell phone in my hand. But right there, right at the top of the bullish engulfing candle.
I'm just gonna guess it's right here.
No, down at the bottom. Yes, right there. Okay, starting first, and then my second, my resistance level would go. Am I looking at this right? Okay, so it will go at the top of the green bearish engulfing candle. So one level up, right there. Yep. And pull it down just a little bit.
Gold stings right now. Pull this up.
Pull it down just a little bit. So right there. So if I were to read this right now, I would say that there was a pullback. We're starting to switch trends. We're now in an uptrend. Price had just broken the current resistance level, and we have an upward trajectory. I mean, so I'm using that first candle that touched the resistance area as my key point area that price already broken.
So this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. So basically what you're trying to say is we're sitting in this zone right now. We rejected this resistance again, as we have multiple times over here. Multiple times. We've been in this bearish trend. We created this low, created a higher low over here, and now we're just kind of sitting in this range over here, right? So you're waiting on the higher time frames for price to really break out of here.
Correct.
Okay. And then with the current monthly candle, this is a strong indicator that we may be continuing bearish here and rejecting this area, because this candle already created a tail wick and then passed the low of the previous candle over here. So just understanding the candle body anatomy, it's like, can we continue back down to the support, or are we going to create a higher low like we've been doing over here? Could we create a higher low to continue up? So you just got to be able to play both biases. Looking at the weekly now, would you like to adjust anything, or you want to keep everything where it is?
You could add a middle support area,
Or what?
a middle support
Where's that?
right there where your cursor is.
Okay.
So the only reason why I picked this particular area is because we see that the candlesticks in the past have rejected trying to break this level, and it was pushed back down, and it just appears to be a respected level.
Okay.
Right.
It's respecting a few times over here, definitely. And then also, like right now, we're reacting to it. Do you want to adjust this resistance up here, or do you want to adjust the support?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think it's pretty accurate. Okay. The one on the top, you could just move it up just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. If I were to read this, I don't even know how to read it. I don't know how to read it.
Okay. You want me to do it for you?
Please.
Okay. So what I'm looking at over here too on like the weekly is, I agree. Like this area should be marked off, like this resistance, because we keep rejecting it. I would just move it up just a little bit over here, because you're looking at your more recent resistance on the weekly is right here, and we keep rejecting that level as well over here to the left. Previous support over here, right? This level, I wouldn't mark off right off the bat. I guess I would. We could keep this here. Well, with this, I would probably move this down just a tad, a little bit. But it's getting very choppy in here. This whole thing right here is a giant range, right? So we got to figure out what's going on. We're also creating higher lows or higher highs, right? And higher lows. Right. So could we be creating this higher low over here and continuing up? Just paying attention to the price action right here. Every time we created a low, you got these like little wicks over here, a little consolidation before price continued up. Right over here, nice bearish movement all the way into this area where we got these wicks and then price continued up. Same thing here, just a little bit, not as many wicks, but this one here, right? Strong bearish candle close, bearish push. We created this higher low over here with these wicks, then we continued up. So now can we be getting the same exact thing right over here and then continuing up from here, right? And possibly even creating a higher low, higher high over here. Well, what I was saying right here with the monthly was I really did like this rejection over here. Right? That was a hard rejection. This is kind of what I was saying that we could get on GJ, where we get like, looks like we're breaking the resistance, but then we break right back below and then we continue back down to the retest the lows down here. I'd also mark off, yeah, this monthly support as well, where we could possibly hold this resistance and continue down and retest these lows. Again, weekly is a little messy, but once we get into the daily, let's see where we're at now. Daily is definitely messy. Everything's sideways over here. I'm looking at, again, adjusting this area because you got that support, resistance right there, resistance, some areas reacting to that as well. But what I'm looking at more so is the more recent support and resistance. So we have this support down here that bounced off, price bounced off these areas over here and continued up, bounced off here, continued all the way up. And now after continuing up there, you got a little fake out of 129 or 1295 over here. Got like a fake out right here, and price has been in like this bearish trend ever since. Right? Lower lows, lower highs. So right now we're holding a support. Our next resistance of interest is going to be right here. Right? So we're holding support here. We're still in the bearish trend. We could very well be coming into this area, holding a resistance and continuing down, right? But right now we are holding a support. We're breaking the high of that previous week bearish candle. Can we get price action like this? Can we get that right here where we then continue up from there, right? So looking at the 4 hour now, and again, some pairs are harder to break down than others. So it's definitely understandable for you guys to be a little confused on some of these. Now, what we have was our new low. We've been in this bearish trend to get the fake out, lower highs, consolidated a little bit, and then we continue down with this impulse move, continuing all the way down to 125,500, somewhere in here, right? Where's our nearest resistance now? Right here. Right? And we were sitting in this range. We finally broke above, but these wicks are very weak, right? They're a lot of indecision candles passing the low. This candle passing the high of it. Everything's kind of all over the place right now in the 4 hour. I'm just going to adjust this area too, just a little bit, right into here, where if we hold that support, we could very well come into this area, but we could very well hold this area too as a resistance to continue down. Right? See how we're creating these lower highs over here? All right, the 4 hour now. A little tricky. So what I'm going to do is mark it off right there. Where we had this previous support, resistance right there. We get a little fake out. Price comes back into the range. This is our range right here. Price comes back into the range over here. but we're forming like some kind of a higher low over here. So are we going to continue through this level right there and break it and continue up? And this is just like a pullback back into the range to continue up? Or are we going to reject this level, break this support, and do we have enough range for price to continue down in here? Yeah. Got about 35, 40 pips right in here that you could possibly take. You may want to be aware of this area though too. Right? So you got about 25, 27 pips where price breaks that support right there. We could continue back down. All right, so we're basically sitting in this range. This is very, very difficult to break down right here and predict where price is going to go. But right now we're sitting in this range. We just rejected it with this candle, but we are holding a support right here, and we have a wick to possibly fill with a strong bullish candle. Can we push up, filling that candle, and continue up into this resistance up here? You also have a clean move to the left. Yeah, actually, we can bring that there. And you know what? I would actually get rid of this. You have this support here on the 30-minute, this resistance on the 30-minute. We're holding support, but we do keep rejecting here. All right, we keep rejecting here. So this right here would be a no trade range. This you could definitely grab and move into, filling this wick, continuing down into this support. But you may want to wait for, let's see. Yeah, that's only 15 pips in there. You may want to wait for a break of 1262 up here before taking price up into, you know, next levels like up here.
Can you just go over the no trade range just so I have a fair understanding of it?
Yes. So you're also like sitting over here too. You have this inside of here. So all this is just sideways price action. It's very difficult to be trading in here. There's also not enough range to be trading in there. So you want to stay out of this. If you want to take a trade in here, this is risky because you have so many, you don't have many pips in there to grab. But this is your more ideal range. And then also once you start breaking this, if we ever do break 1, 2, 5, 4 over here, you get a clean move to the left. I'm actually just going to adjust that. Now, Tiff, to be fair to you, like you definitely picked a more difficult pair to break down over here, but there's always a way to break down these pairs. It's just some are choppier than others. Some are more difficult to predict where price is going to go. But right now, after doing that, this is where I like to go down to the lower time frames or the higher time frames again to see what we're doing, right? So again, the daily right now, you can see us trying to hold that support, right? We're in a major range as well. So this is very difficult to trade on the lower time frames when you have the higher time frames all printing sideways. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Of course. I'm getting that FOMO. There we go. Yeah, the FOMO from gold over here. This is that move I was calling out over here with this wick. We just got to it too late. We were breaking down the charts, but I would have taken it as we broke the low over here. This really didn't fit my rules, taking this trade right here, because where am I going to put my stop loss? This isn't like it's not like we got like a wick right here, right? It's not like we got like a nice healthy wick where you can put your stop loss right there. Once this candle flips bearish and past the low, this candle passed the low like right away, right? So that's not something that I normally take or I take at all. I wait for, you know, a top wick like that to form. I wait for the second half of the candle to form, you know, or to come up before I take that sell. So right now, what I would want to do is maybe wait for some kind of a retest or a resistance forming to continue down, because we still don't really know where gold's going to go. gold is in the same area as we were just breaking down that pair. USD CAD, I think it was. We're just ranging on the higher time frames. So there's no clear direction of where gold could go right now. We're holding the support in the higher time frames, but at the same time, we're holding a resistance continuing down. Like where could gold possibly go? Like this candle right here. Actually, let's get rid of this. This current weekly candle was already bearish like this. Like we already created the top wick and pushed down to this area. Then all of a sudden we retraced and flipped bullish a little bit overnight, and now we're starting to retrace a little bit more and continue to push down. But again, the big question is gold gonna continue to retest these lows? Daily, again, holding that support, but we're retracing here. 4 hour, rejecting this area up here and maybe closing bearish. We got about 10 minutes left, so it probably will be. And then, you know, if you didn't catch that scalp on gold, don't get too much FOMO, because the 4 hour could create a top wick over here on the next 4 hour candle, then pass the low of that candle, then we continue down. Right? Especially after we had this low be respected and price come back up into this area up here. Could we be coming back down to that area? Right? And continuing down through here. If we retest this low and continue down. Also, you got this bearish trend. Hold on, guys. All right, so yeah, what can we get over here as far as some kind of a retest? We got a low formed, right? And this is definitely a big enough range for us to trade in. I just want to wait for a retest over here for the remainder of the New York session, the New York Stock Exchange open. Maybe we get that resistance held and then we continue down, right? But don't be too eager to take anything in here just because you know everything is kind of consolidating on the higher time frames. And once we end up breaking, once we break 1837 over here, and then especially 1830, you guys got a clean move to the left to take, right? Like we're finally broken out of this range and we can continue down, right? Same thing with the resistance. If we break 1870, we could very well be continuing up. We know we could. GJ over here, I think we're still ranging. Yeah. This is why we didn't take this, guys. Over here. This was a nice lie back test to see if this worked. It very well could have if we're creating this higher low and continuing up. It still very well can work. Like we're still in drawdown. It's not like we lost a trade. But this is why I don't take this. You got to wait for this resistance to be formed to continue up or to be broken. And then we continue this up for a 43 pip range. So is that clear for everybody?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. Did everyone enjoy breaking those charts down?
Yes, sir.
We're going to be doing more of those too. And obviously I'm going to be adding US 30 into the arsenal. Let's actually take a look at US 30. What ended up happening so far. So what were we doing when we were breaking this down? What were we looking at? We broke down so many pairs over here. I forget what we were planning on this one. Oh, that's right. We were looking for that close below this previous support over here. We ended up getting rejected, but I was saying we could very well be coming back into the range to form a lower high, right? And then continue down. Right now, this candle is passing the low of that candle right there on the 30-minute. So I would right now probably be waiting for the 9 o'clock candle to close, the 4 o'clock 4-hour candle right here to close bearish, which is what we want. The next candle is probably going to create a top wick and then flip bearish, fill that wick, and continue down over here. Could very well see that. All right, so just wait for the 4-hour candle to close. Wait for this 1-hour candle to close below support. Strong 1-hour candle close. And then the next one, especially on the 30-minute, close below that support. Next one, create a top wick, which will be the 4-hour top wick. And then we continue back down. All right. So with that being said, guys, have a great day. It's 8:54. Hit those daily musts. Guys, if you're not reporting your AARs and you know, staying accountable and stuff like that, how do you expect to get better? Like every day, you guys are gonna feel like you're staying the same. You feel like you're staying at the same level. Where if you're reporting your AARs, and I know the things that you're trying to work on, and we can work on them together, then we know that we're improving every single week. I know that you're improving every single week, right? And then you know you're improving every week. But if you can't stick to that, stick with one thing. If you guys are having trouble with self-discipline, start aiming to do one thing consistently every single day and make it that nightly journal, right? That nightly journal you do every day, no matter what. You don't feel like doing it, do it anyway. And once you start building that discipline, once you do that for a week, right? Once you do it for 2 weeks, you're going to feel the momentum. You're going to feel like, damn, I feel confident. Because the confidence, your self-confidence, comes from the actions that you put forward every day and sticking to your own word, right? So when you can do that, when you can stick to your own word and do those nightly journals, it's that simple. You're going to feel more confident doing those nightly journals every day, staying in tune with your goals, all that stuff. But if you're not doing it, you're going to be out of whack of your goals. So that's why I always pick that as the first thing, because it's like the most important. It's how you evaluate yourself. It's your to-do list. It's your schedule for the day. It's your all your goals that you're writing down, micro and macro goals, right? So doing that, and then your AARs at the end of the day reporting back to me and saying like, yo, this is how my day went. I could have fixed this. This is what I saw on my pair. I kind of want to go over this with you, and then moving forward. Guys, this is what the best of the best do. They stay humble. They make sure that they're getting the most out of themselves and working their hardest. But also just staying accountable to somebody and knowing that they're going to get their best self by doing that. So guys, keep doing it. It doesn't have to be every day, but we improve a lot quicker if you do it every day. But just make sure you're reporting every Friday and let me know. Like this is how my week went. This is how Tuesday went. Wednesday was kind of tough, right? I didn't feel like doing my things, but I did them anyway, and it made me feel great. Right? Like Quentin, you were great with the AARs for a little bit there. I think you fell off. Obviously, you have work going on and all that stuff where we just got to get you back in the rhythm. But yeah, get back on that track. How good did you feel at that time? Do you remember?
Yeah, definitely. I kept. I didn't stop doing the writing down the AARs in my journal, in my notebook. But yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to reporting. Like, and again, you don't have to do it every single night. Just do it maybe on a Wednesday to update me midweek, and then do it on a Friday for the whole week. And just let me know, like, this is how my week went and all that stuff. This is what I'm focusing on for the weekend. This is what the theme of the week was, and I actually accomplished what I wanted to. You know how to write them, but let's get back in the rhythm, and it helps me help you guys.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely.
All right, guys. So guys, have a great day. Like I said, hit those daily musts. Make sure you get that nightly journal filled out tonight, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. We're gonna be with Sharma tomorrow, so it's gonna be 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will see you guys then.
Thank you. Have a good
My
day.
pleasure, guys.
All right, guys, have a great day.
Later, bro.
Have a great day. All right. Bye.